welcome to ET Garage. My name's Eugene Tordo. This is my garage, and of course I have my other shop in the basement. If you look through my videos, you can see all that. And anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you could, go down there, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And today's video is going to be about me replacing my trip monitor. Hopefully you guys could see all that. And the reason I'm replacing it is I got this one off of eBay, and it's like new. It came out of a 90 ZR1. I don't have a ZR1, but that shouldn't make any difference because they're all pretty much the same. And it might have more light bulbs in the back, but they just won't get utilized. Worst case, I'll have to just replace this section of it. Take this all apart and replace that section of it. But I'll probably take the old one out, and like I said, this one's like new. Mine, the buttons are all worn and faded, and sometimes the buttons don't work correctly. You gotta like hit them over and over again, so they're probably pretty worn. And this car has close to, I think, 230,000 miles. It might even have the over 230,000. I'll have to look at the odometer. But I do drive it quite a bit, and I still like it to look nice. The body's a little beat up. I mean, it looks good here, probably in the video and from a distance, but the body's definitely beat up. I'm reluctant to fix the body up because, like right now, they're tarring and chipping roads. They do that every couple of years in my area, so I kind of, you know, it'd end up becoming a garage cleanup if I fix it up too nice, because then I'll be afraid to drive it. But anyway, I do still like the interior to look nice, and if I see a good deal on something like this, I'll grab it. And this is what I'm going to change out, and basically what it involves is removing the shifter knob, removing the center console, removing the radio bezel, and the one vent, and I believe that's it. And then unscrewing this, and this pops out pretty easily. So I guess we'll get inside the car and start working on that. Okay, here we are in the car. One of the things you're going to need to do, if it's an automatic or a stick, I believe too, you have to turn your ignition key to the on position. Don't start the car. You should really disconnect the battery. I didn't, but you should really disconnect it. And move the shifter so it's facing you at a pretty good angle. Take this button out, and all you need is a screwdriver. It comes out just like that. That's all there is to it. Then you'll need a snap ring pliers. Now, if you don't have snap ring pliers, you could use a pair of needle nose. You can use a screwdriver, and most of the time you can get that little C-clip off that's in there. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. There you go. Little C-clip. You should be able to see that. And see if I can get this out and work around the camera at the same time. There you go. Try and have a magnetic tray handy, and put like a towel on your seats and stuff to protect them, and that makes it a lot easier. Knobs should pull right off. Sometimes these can be a little bit of a pain. You're gonna have to really pry them off, but that's about all there is to that. Next thing to do is, let's see if I can turn this around, is get these two screws out. One there, one there. Get all your change and stuff out. I already took that out. Take those out, and usually you just use a 7mm, at least on my 90 it's always been a 7mm for all these interior screws. Get those out. You don't need a magnetic stick, but it does help, especially when it comes to get these suckers out. Oh, there we go. Down again. There we go. That's that one, and that one, and we'll stick them right over in the magnetic tray. Get the magnet back out of the way. Next screws are these ones buried in here. If if you have these, take those out of the way. They'll be under there. It's just the one screw. Another 7mm. Get rid of that. And now it should pop out relatively easy. There are the wires. There's wires for this yellow button under there. And then there's going to be the bulb under here for that lights up the indicator, shift indicator. And let me find a better location for this. Like pry this out of here. If you have to, you can move the shifter. Bulb out, push underneath, and just give it a twist. If you can, holding this camera and doing it at the same time makes it a little more difficult. Alright, let's see. Then there's two wires underneath this button that will have to come out. Just give it a good, usually there's like a little tab you press, and you can feel it under there. And that one comes out. There's two of them. That one came out. And let's see. And then you have these wires. And there's a little tab. Let's see if I can get that. This is the difficult part, doing the camera and all this stuff. There's a tab there. And a tab there. And my little screwdriver. Be able to get it. There we go. And that is off. And I'll stick that down here, out of the way. Now the next thing is the radio bezel and this vent. I need to get a Phillips screwdriver for that. I forgot to get a Phillips screwdriver. I've heard of other people not having Phillips. They've had those different hex head screws in there. But you can see I got Phillips there and a Phillips there. Hold tight and I will get the Phillips. Okay, I got my Phillips. Let me see if I can get a camera angle here. And take your tilt steering wheel and tilt it down out of the way. If you have a magnetic Phillips, it's better. I can't remember if this particular one I have right here is a magnetic Phillips or not, but worst case, I'll just drop the screw. I have a bunch of extra screws. It's not anything super special. Put that in there. If you have a light in here, that helps you see the screw. If you've done this before like I have, it makes it a lot simpler. Panel off. And this vent should pop right out. There we go. We'll stick that up there. Alrighty. I hope you guys could see that. Shine some light on there. There's that screw there. And then there's a screw down here. If you can see that. Screw there. Put this light someplace better. I should have got a better light, but screw there, and a screw there, screw there. I think that's it. Somehow I remember another screw somewhere, but I don't know. If there is, I'll find it taking it out. So get these two out first. Or this top one. Now, standard radio bezel, standard I mean, doesn't have like my wide band and that USB quick charger that I have there. Makes it actually a lot easier to take out. In this case, I got to deal with all these extra wires when I take this out. That's the bad thing. really should use a 7mm socket with a little swivel socket, little swivel on the end and an extension. That'd make it easier to reach this one, but it's no big deal. Move this camera down a little bit. There we go. Okay, it should do it. Should. Okay, that ain't working. That's working. This one I'm going to use the needle nose. There we go. Put this back up in the way. Get this out carefully. And now I got to unplug all these wires. Like I said, if you just don't have all these things that I added, it makes it a lot easier. Especially the wideband. Okay, there we go. Now, that's out of the way. And let's see if we can get a better look again. Should really get better lighting in here, but here we are. One thing I did do was I removed the target top, and that makes it a lot, whenever you work on the interior, having the target top always makes it a lot easier. But you can see the three 7mm screws, one there, and one down there. Uh-oh. Should come out. See how lucky I get. And there we go. Popped right out. That's it. I don't know if you can see how beat up these buttons are. I'll do a comparison when we get in a couple of minutes here. We'll get out of the car and we'll swap things over. Okay, this is the one I'm taking out, and I don't know if you can see it good in here or not, but see if I can compare the two. Might be too much light. Hopefully you can see that, how much better the buttons are. So let it focus. And the bottom one's the old one, top one's the one I'm using to replace. See how much better they look and everything. And also this trim piece right around here is a lot nicer than the one I'm going to be taking off. Now if you look on the back side, they're pretty much identical. The color of the little plastic circuit thing is different color, but other than that, I don't know, they look identical to me. And there's a, let's see, there's a number here. There's the one I got off of eBay. It says LN, made in USA, and it has 250859554. And my old one has 250859554 on it too. So there's apparently their same item number. So I'm going to swap these out. These little torque screws are a T15, in case you're wondering. So let me relocate this camera a little better. I can get in here and swap that out. That's a pretty simple thing. Clean my hands real quick. Wipe them off. You don't want to get this dirty if you don't have to. Don't worry about putting this on the wrong way. It only goes on one way. And it's pretty simple. Do not over tighten these. Just snug is all you got to do. That's it. You're screwing in plastic. Flip it over and I'll swap out the bulbs. If you have LED bulbs, I guess you could do that. And I'm going to do these one at a time so I don't mix them up. Okay, it's looking good. Old one, new one, and we'll get it in the car and test it out. Okay, here we are back in the car, and I'm gonna try and get this sucker in. This is actually my second attempt. Last one, for some reason, just wouldn't want to go. See what happens now. There are some pins that need to be lined up. Get my little light out. See if everything's lining up. Yeah, let's see what's there. What's there? Don't want to press on this. This surface here can get damaged real easy. Be careful there. Alright, feels like it's in. One way to find out. Yep, there we go. Looks like everything's working. Yeah. Let's see. Range. Yep, that works. Trip, and yeah, everything's working. In fact, it's working a hell lot better than it did before, because the buttons are so much better shape. Now I just got to get it screwed in. Hopefully I remember which screws went where. That's always the hard part. Check it again. Yep, looks good. All right. I'll go ahead and get it. I'll save that for last. Now, on my car, like I was saying, the hard part for mine is the radio bezel, and what makes it hard is this wideband connector. Believe it or not. Like I said, most cars aren't going to have all this, so you can just usually snap it into place, get it all lined up, you know, especially if you have an aftermarket radio like I do. Oh, here I'm going to relocate this too. What the heck? Might as well. This is the mic, by the way, for my aftermarket radio. I'll try and leave links during a link to it. The review I did of this aftermarket radio, if you haven't seen it, or just look through my videos. I'm seriously thinking of modifying this putting a speaker in there somewhere. It shouldn't be that hard. I don't know. One of these days if I ever get around to it. But for now, I'm just going to get this up in there. Like, you know, like that. There's a lot of wire length here, thank God. Biggest problem I have because of this wideband is I didn't leave myself enough stretch on this, and that makes it difficult. So I'll probably either delete this section part of me trying to plug this in for the next 10-15 minutes, or fast forward through it. So let's see. I have an aftermarket radio in here. Makes it actually a little difficult, more difficult. But there it is, more or less. Let me check. Yep, wideband is working. That's working. Excellent. I just gotta find to my screwdriver. Okay, I'll be right back. Found it. It was sitting in my lap. Now, if you're, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on my radio bezel, there's actually a broken piece right there. And the way to fix something like that is you can glue the broken piece if you have it, or use a large washer like I'm doing right here, and that will take care of that. Let's see if we can get a better view up there. There we go. Now, one thing you could do if you're having problems getting these screws in with the you can stick the screw right on the end of the magnet. You have a magnet stick like this, and let's see, so you guys can see that. And get it started that way. Get it straight and just screw. Get it started. It's starting to come out. You got to be careful there. There it goes. Okay. Get that started. Ain't in right, I can tell. Alright, that one's gonna have to come back out. I think I grabbed the wrong screw. No biggie. Like I said, it always helps to have one of these magnet sticks handy. They're cheap. You should be able to pick them up cheap at like Harbor Freight and whatnot. Okay, it was looking good. Let me get this all back in there. That. Now comes the difficult part. You know, the more so difficult part, and the reason I'm gonna go over that as being difficult is when you install the center console, you need to get these two wires hooked up, this bulb in, this hooked up for the cigarette lighter right there, that connector, And this right here has to line up with your shifter indicator. This, which is right here. See that shift indicator? That has those prongs. This metal piece right there has to go right between those two prongs. And you got to get everything hooked up and lined up. And I find the best thing to do is hook this up first, hook these up second, the bulb, and then as you lower this on to here, line up your indicator, and then move your shifter back and forth and test it. So, let me see if I can get this in a position that will hold, that everyone can see. Get this in there. Alright, we'll get this in there first. Let's see. Easy one. Now keep in mind, if you go to test this button, yellow button, it has to be in park or it won't work. So if it doesn't work and you don't have it in park, that's what the problem is. Now get that. Hook it up. Boot on, and because I have all these extra wires in here, it actually makes it difficult to get the tabs in, because there's these two tabs right here, one there and one there. They got to line up with these slots. That's something to keep in mind if you add accessories like I do. Sorry about the camera movement. Okay, now this little bulb under here, that's always a pain. Now this bulb always gets hot. I keep meaning to replace it with a LED one of these days. I will. Now here's the tricky part, the indicator. You got to make sure you get that done. Yeah, I still got all these wires in the way. What a pain. Yeah, looks like there's a lot of room under here, but start bunching stuff up, it becomes difficult quick. Real quick. There we go. Get this lined up. Okay, put that in there. Just down in there. Ooh, look at that. It's going pretty good. Make sure your door opens and closes good too. Not really. Whoa, sorry about that. Not really happy with that alignment, but let me get everything in. I think that's as good as it's going to go. Then we get a screw in, and we'll check out the shifter, make sure it works. Here we go, this thing moving all over again. Okay, let me get this screw in. I'm not happy with the way that's lining up, but not much I can do about that. See if I can get that in there. Make sure you can get your cups back in. We'll go ahead and do the shifter knob next. In case you haven't seen it, I also did a video on adjusting the shift indicator. So I'll leave a link to that somewhere. Let me get my snap ring pliers. Get them in there. So holes lined up. Now, one thing about the snap rings is you use the snap ring pliers to get them on there. Hopefully you guys can see all that. And then make sure it clicks in the groove using a screwdriver. You should be able to spin it around in that groove. That's pretty much it. And then to put this little knob back here, just the little prongs here, you just make sure you spread them apart. And I shouldn't need that anymore. Now there's only 2 screws left. Make sure, like I said, make sure your door opens and closes. And those 2 screws I got to put back in there and there. And that'll be it. Okay, I still need to put my vent back in. I'll do that last here in a couple of seconds. I might actually go ahead and see if I can get that little microphone in there. But one thing you want to do after you get it all together, make sure this is in park, and press the yellow button, and the hatch opens. So I know that works. So that's pretty much it. I just got to put this back on. That's just 2 screws, and I might go ahead and modify it for that mic. So I don't know. We'll see. But let me wrap the video up. Okay, it's all together. And I ended up drilling the hole for that mic in the vent. I will leave a picture of it up here or at the end of the video, or both. And I ended up just using a step drill, using a skinny step drill to get my center, drilling it from the back, and then I just drilled it out, and I got lucky. It was a perfect fit when I got done drilling it and deburring it, and it was almost like snapped into place, like it was meant to be there. But anyway, I got real lucky with that. I hope this video, when I edit it, everything comes out good, and I hope it's helpful, like all my videos. Anyway, I want everybody to have a great day, and God bless.